So you might have had times in your life when you said, oh, I'm going to do something different, I want to do something new. And so you head off with the best of intentions, and as you go along, you just notice maybe you slip back a little bit, the same thoughts come into your mind, maybe an old feeling rises up, you ask yourself, well, where did that come from? Maybe a reaction happens and you think, oh, damn it, I've done it again. So my question for you today is, are you singing the same old song? And you know, we all know someone who's stuck in the old days. They talk about, oh, everything was so great in the olden days, and they're full of, you know, all the old memories, and that's all they can think of. They're really not in the present moment. And they might sing this song. Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. You can join me if you know the words. Now it looks as though they're here to stay. Oh, I believe in yesterday. Suddenly, all my troubles seem so far away. There's a shadow hanging over me. Oh, I believe in yesterday. So here's a singer who's caught up in nostalgia, which is not a bad thing. It's not bad to have memories of good things that are in the past, but it's not living in the present. And in the song it says, my troubles are here to stay. Well, that doesn't sound too good to me. That's someone who's kind of stuck in their difficulties. And I'm not half the man I used to be or half the woman I used to be. Well, that's a person who doesn't get that they're a divine being. And then there's the person who is stuck in the poor me mode. Poor me, why is this happening to me? Here it goes again. And so there's a kind of victim mentality, and it's a bit like singing the blues. So the blues are good, in a way, because they give voice to our pain, and it's good to know you're in pain. Don't you agree with that? Yeah, you need to be in touch with how you're feeling. It's good to know if you're feeling sad. And, you know, some people say, you know, when you know your pain and you sing it out, that's kind of a way to release, so that's good. And I love the blues, but when we sing the blues over and over and over, we kind of get stuck in it, and it makes us powerless. So we might even sing this song. You know this song? Nobody knows my sorrow. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Glory, hallelujah. Sometimes I'm up, sometimes I'm down. Oh yes, Lord, sometimes I'm almost to the ground. So we get the idea, right? This is an interesting song. I get the feeling the singer feels isolated. What does he say? He says, nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Nobody knows the trouble. I think it's a person who feels misunderstood, or maybe they feel unseen. But I like that they talk about life being sometimes up and sometimes down. Is that something that you experience? The ups and the downs? Here's what Psalm 30 says. It says, weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. Yeah! Remember that. Remember that. Have a good night's sleep, and the next day you might feel entirely different. And then there are those who dislike going to work. You probably heard one of them, they whinge and they whine about work, they don't like their colleagues, they hate the boss, you know, the whole story. Well, the Allman Brothers wrote a song called Stormy Monday Blues. Listen to the words. They call it Stormy Monday, but Tuesday's just as bad. Lord, and Wednesday's worst, and Thursday's also sad. The eagle flies on Friday, that's payday. Saturday I go out to play. Sunday I go to church, gonna kneel down and pray. So, you know, research shows us actually that the day that is most missed of all the work days is Monday by far, which tells us that there's probably quite a few people in this cycle, this weekly cycle, where they really just don't want to go to work. There's even a word for it, it's called Monday-itis. And I've known a few people, well, actually, I have to say I've even felt that from time to time, Monday-itis. So this is a pattern that some people repeat over and over, sometimes for years and years. I mean, there are people who just can't wait until retirement. That's their whole program in life, to get to that point. So Myrtle Fillmore, our co-founder, talked about going to work. And, you know, she used to get people writing her letters all the time, and she would always write back to everyone. And she must have got a few about work, because she writes in some of her letters about it. And she says, well, work is not separate from your spiritual practice. It's an expression of the divine life that's flowing through you. And so she reminds some of those people who've written to her that it doesn't matter what your job is. Think of it as sacred service. And it can be sacred service if you're in the right consciousness. And so she says, no matter what the task is, if you're going to the office or you're washing the dishes or whatever, she says, this is your chance to align with God. And so she writes in one of her letters, we should go about our work in joy and with the consciousness that we are working with God and for God. And then she gives a little bit of advice. She says, bless your work and it will bless you. I love that. Bless your work and it will bless you. And she says, never go to work by yourself. Go to work with God. In Isaiah 42, it says, sing to the Lord a new song. And these are the words of the prophet Isaiah. He was saying it to the people of Israel when they were in Babylonian exile. So they left Jerusalem and their temple had been burned down, and they were grieving. They really had this sense that there was no hope. So Isaiah was kind of a bit sick of seeing them dwell in this victimhood, the poor me thing. He thought this is not going to help at all. And so he says to them, you have to sing a new song. And this was his way of saying, you know, you have to have a new consciousness. You've got to look at this in a different way. And this is where your freedom will come from, by having a higher way of thinking. And so one of the problems that we can have is that the new song is trying to be heard, but there's way too much noise going on. And the new song is trying to sing itself through all the noise, but it can't be heard. So what do? We must become quiet and silent. Who knows this song? Cause the vision softly creeping lifted seats while I was sleeping. And the vision that was planted in my brain still remains. And the sound of silence. Ah, that's for all the Simon and Garfunkel fans. Isn't that a blast from the past? 1960s. Some of you are way too young to have any idea about what that means. So the other thing that we try to do sometimes is to patch up the old song. And so, you know, we like to fix problems. Are there any fixers here? Anyone here that likes to fix things? Oh, I'm going to go in and fix this. Really, what we should try to do is sing a new song. And in Romans 12, it says, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And renewal doesn't really come from editing the past. It has to be something new. Martha Smock was one of the great Unity writers. She said, sometimes when we're unhappy with ourselves and lives, we think that the way to change is to work with what is wrong. And so we try to fix the problem when the best thing we really could do is take a new direction, do something new. And so why doesn't fixing the old song work? Well, here, I'm speaking about principle here. Some of you will know this phrase, what you focus on grows. Have you heard that before? Yeah. So if you focus on what is wrong, what are you doing? Yep, you're expanding it, you're making it bigger, you're making it grow. And sometimes we can identify with our past mistakes. Anyone do that? Anyone go, oh, I shouldn't have done that? And you give yourself a whole lot of regret for no reason. Hanging on to old hurts, maybe hanging on to negative patterns. It's really like singing a song of regret. So how do we create a new song? Well, here's an example. In our relationships, the old song might be something like, oh, I've been so hurt. I'm going to have to fix this relationship, right? Well, I'm not saying not to do that, but hey, here's a new song. And the new song might go, I'm open to new relationships that are healthy and happy. What about that one? So, you know, it kind of invites in a new energy. And here's another example. In our work or our career, or maybe in our volunteering service, the old song might be, oh, I hate this job, but if I just try harder, I can tolerate it. Well, here's the new song. I'm guided to fulfilling work that blesses others. So you might even open yourself up to this wonderful new opportunity that you never even thought about. And so, if we want health and wholeness, then here's a song that might come to mind. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. I'm so glad every little cell in my body is happy and well. I'm so glad every little cell in my body is happy and well. What a great song. It's like a big positive affirmation. I don't know about you. Does your body feel a little different? So what a great and powerful thing to sing a song that not that your body is healthy and well and happy, but every single cell in the body is happy. Every single cell is well. It's very powerful. We're powerful beings, aren't we? Say, I'm a powerful being. So here's this affirmation we can say. We're moving our energy and our emotions and our thoughts, and it gets into our subconscious and actually can shift the energy of the body. So in Ephesians 4, it says, be renewed in the spirit of your mind. And I love this quote because the emphasis is on the word spirit. Be renewed in the spirit, not just be renewed in your mind. You've got to be in the spirit. Do you understand what we're talking about here? When we sing a song, if we put our heart and soul into it, we are in the spirit, right? That's what shifts us. So we want to sing the right song for the right energy that we want to have. And you might do this one. Know this? And whistle a happy tune so no one will suspect I'm You know this one? It comes from Disney. Is it Disney? Oh, The King and I. Whenever I feel afraid, I hold my head erect and whistle a happy tune so no one will suspect I'm afraid. What wonderful words are those? Wow, they're like new thought words, if ever. And look, here's what Emmett Fox said. He said, you cannot be unhappy and grateful at the same time. It's so true, but I say you can't be unhappy when you're singing a happy song. Isn't that true? So it's really like giving yourself some sort of spiritual direction. When you sing in a happy way, you start to feel happy. It changes your energy. And you know, thoughts and feelings create our world. Isn't that true? Say with me, thoughts and feelings create my world. So here's what Myrtle Fillmore, our other co-founder, said. She said, we increase whatever we praise. The whole of creation responds to praise. So I'm thinking of a song. Does anyone know the song? Good, good, good vibrations. You know that song? Oh, I love that song because, you know, it shifts the vibration. Well, Charles Fillmore said, thoughts are living currents of energy, and if we keep replaying old ones, we live the same reality. So Isaiah said, do not remember the former things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I'm doing a new thing, and now it springs forth. So, is there an old song you've been singing? Just think about that for a moment. Any old songs happening? Perhaps it's a song of limitation. Maybe it's of criticism, or even self-criticism, one of the worst sorts of criticism. Maybe you've been carrying a burden around for a long, long time. Just notice the heaviness of that. And so here's what I want you to say to the old song. I want you to say, I bless you, old song. And I release you now. Okay, that sounds good. Well, the Unity writer Martha Smock said, this is the time for a new song, and God is giving you the words. Sing it. And so it is. Give Jen a hand.